guys, and welcome back to Couch Critics. I'm Lamia.
And I'm Ruby, and today we're reviewing The Bride.
Yes, it stars Jessie Buckley and Christian Bale, and it's this female version of Frankenstein.
Yeah, it's like the sequel of Frankenstein.
Yeah.
He's looking for a wife, and he goes back to the doctor. Well, one of like a relative, or I didn't understand what was the link between that doctor and Dr. Frankenstein, but um, he goes back to her to ask her to bring a woman back to life so that he has a partner.
Basically, he feels lonely and he wants the doctor to create a bride for him.
Yeah.
And so the bride is played by Jessie Buckley, and she's really weird and she's really twisted, and she doesn't get who she is, because like she doesn't remember who she was before being reborn as the bride. And so during the movie she tries to refine herself.
Yeah. And I think it's very funny because the movie starts with something that I'm seeing a lot on social media, and like it's becoming a popular subject, and it's called like the male loneliness epidemic.
Yeah.
And apparently it's a thing. So it was fun to see that in that movie and seeing it with Frankenstein. Also, I feel like Frankenstein has been like, there was a lot of talks about him this year. There was what's his name from Wuthering Heights? Jacob Elordi. He did a Netflix movie.
Yeah.
I think he was even nominated for an Oscar for it, but
for Frankenstein.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's nice to see the franchise coming back to life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a very witty movie, and it's not about Frankenstein. Frankenstein is a side character. It's all about the bride, and the bride is a metaphor as itself to what happens to women who speak up, because the girl that is played by Jessie Buckley, the one who actually died was Ida was someone who got killed because she's kind of spoke too much. And so the bride is this voice to the voiceless, to women, to all the women who get killed. And the bride's character is kind of haunted. Like from time to time you see her like almost get possessed by these women who got killed, and they just like speak through her. So it's a fun movie, but it has a strong meaning, which I think is the reason why the opinions about it were so divided, because I feel like people go into this movie expecting something and they end up like getting something totally different.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's a movie about female rage and about having a voice. Like Ida represents every woman who was a victim, and talking too much, that's that's a very powerful symbol, because the character who was trying to silence her, he collects the tongues of his victims, which to me was so disturbing. And there was so much symbolism in the movie. There was so much, like even at some point the bride was gonna be like, she was gonna be a victim of essay, and we see her eating the tongue, not eating, but like biting the tongue off of the cop who was trying to take advantage of her. And that was so disturbing. I like closed my eye through so many scenes in that movie, but it was poignant in that way, because it wanted to reach the audience.
And speaking of symbolism, there was, as you said, a lot of symbolism in this movie, and the tongue itself is a symbol, because like at first you just see the bride's tongue is black for some reason. Lola, arrête.
Oh Jesus. That's gonna make a good blooper.
Featuring the cat.
That's our second hiccup.
Come here.
Hi girl. Lola. Hi girl.
This is the star of this podcast.
What do you have to say about the movie?
Come. Did you have anything to say
about female rage?
I want food. I'm in rage because I want more food. And so yeah, as I was saying before we got interrupted by the cat, the tongue itself is a symbolism, and we see Jessie Buckley's tongue, the bride's tongue, is black, and it's black because it's non-existent, and it's because it was cut off, and it was cut off because this woman, Ida, spoke too much, so her tongue was cut off, and
I did not think about that. I did not think about it. I
yeah.
forgot it. Yeah.
And so it just goes to show how everything happened on purpose and how nothing was uh, left unexplained. And
Yeah.
also the ending, spoiler alert, like she ends up dying, and she dies after she spoke up, after she decided to confront the doctor, to just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I loved towards the ending, there's at some point, because she doesn't remember her name and she doesn't want to be named Penelope, which is the name that Frankenstein gave her, neither Ida, which was her name. She just wants to be called the bride. And then Frankenstein proposes, and she's like, no, I'm not
Yeah.
Frankenstein's bride. I am the bride. So at the end, she does find her identity. I also love Jake Gyllenhaal in that movie, which, by the way, he's the
Yeah.
brother of the director.
He is?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
And the director is married to the guy who played the male detective. So it's
Okay.
like a family movie. I'm kidding. But Jake Gyllenhaal, I love seeing him in the old movies, and I also love the reference to cinema because through the whole movie, Frankenstein was just following Ronnie Reed's movies, and
Mhm.
it just comes like it had a very nostalgic feel,
Yeah.
especially that the movie was happening in the 1900s, and I loved how we can also see Frankenstein sometimes being a background actor in the movies, like him seeing himself as a background actor, and then when he meets the bride, he starts seeing himself as a main character.
Mhm.
And I just loved how it got like it took us on a trip towards their thoughts
Yeah.
through these small changes, and it's a very nostalgic movie in terms of how vintage it is
Yeah.
and the filming.
And
Yeah.
also the acting is phenomenal. I mean, Jessie Buckley is my new favorite actress just because she's exceptional. I loved her in Hamlet. That's where I discovered her, and I had lower expectations when it came to her acting in this movie, just because Hamlet was so exceptional that I didn't see how she could do better than that.
Yeah.
But she completely surprised me. Everything was so theatrical and so perfect and on point, and it just made everything so coherent and so good, and I did not recognize Christian Bale at
Yeah.
all,
Yeah.
so he was great too. And
Yeah.
yeah.
And also something about the movie that I loved was the music and their dancing. And talking about the actress, it did seem like they were having a lot of fun on set. Like I
Yeah.
think it must be so fun to take roles like this because
Yeah.
you just go insane in that person, like in this character's shoes. And I think it's
Mm.
something so wonderful because it's so out of the ordinary. And I do have a comment though, speaking about Frankenstein and the way we didn't recognize Christian Bale. It's it's very like it made me question it because Jessie Buckley, like the bride, she's kept like she didn't have any scars on her face and
Mm.
she was still very beautiful even though she was someone who was revived from the
Mm.
dead, whereas Frankenstein had all of those scars. And it came to like it made me realize, like, are we not okay seeing an ugly woman starring in a movie, but we're comfortable seeing uh
I
like
feel like it's
less.
more about the story of Frankenstein and
Yeah.
how he is supposed to be scary,
Yeah.
and that's the whole point about it. He is a monster, whereas for the bride, um, I mean, I see your point. Like she was supposed to be scary too, but I don't
Yeah.
know.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Well, let us know what you guys think.
I mean, she looked insane
Yeah.
and totally out of her mind, but she wasn't scary.
Yeah. And she
Yeah,
was so beautiful. I mean, it's Jessie Buckley.
yeah.
Yeah. I
I
think
think
that
that
sums
sums
it
it
up.
up. Please go watch it and form your own opinion about it. Let us know what you thought.
And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.
We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.